Now I'd like to introduce the mayor of our fine city, John Murray.
Thank you, Commander Gerd, Commander Norton, everyone here today for taking the time to come thank our veterans and mark Memorial Day. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words that I think sum up how I'm able to personally recognize this holiday and everything that the veterans have done for this country. Memorial Day, like many other holidays, is filled with symbols. Some of the most recognized symbol, the American flag, the American eagle, the POW MIA flag, red, white, and blue. But the most vivid symbol, and in my opinion, the most important symbol, is the veteran. Nickelodeon, it's a children's TV network. Some of you may have it. If you have children, it's a godsend. They did a survey earlier this year, and they surveyed children throughout our country. And what they found is that by the age of 3, children in our country recognize on average 100 brand logos. What this means is that more children in our country recognize the Golden Arches, Culvers, if you will, and what that symbol means, more so than the American flag and what that means. Now, I want to be clear, I support advertising. It's part of a free and robust economy. And I will also admit that I enjoy the occasional snack pack from Culver's. Just don't tell my wife. But it raises a very important point, a very serious point. At some point in the education of our children, we have a responsibility to ensure that they recognize and they understand the symbols of our country and the lessons behind them as much or more than the other symbols that are prevalent in our country. Like many of us, I've been blessed with many great teachers and many great formative experiences in my education. One of those was a high school teacher named Mr. Kasner. He was a World War II veteran. History, my favorite subject actually. I remember him on the first day of class holding up the textbook. He said, we were going to learn what was in that textbook, to be sure. But we would also learn some of the lessons that were not in the book. Some of his lessons from combat and service. As a teen growing up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, having a high school history teacher roll up his pant leg and show the remnants of his shattered knee was a pretty shocking experience. In retrospect, I realized this was for effect. Mr. Kasner, like many of our veterans, was a character. But it got our attention and gave great credence to the stories of privation, sacrifice, fear, and courage. His personal stories and his unique method of teaching gave real meaning to the word freedom. And it made the symbols that we attach to it more real and more relevant than ever. Last year I talked about finding appropriate ways of allowing our great veterans to tell their stories. By allowing these stories to be told, we create those teachable moments that honor their service and impart valuable lessons to the current and future generation. I ask our veterans and their families again this year, keep telling your stories. Keep teaching those lessons that were and still are the foundation for the freedom that we enjoy in our country. I also ask everyone to keep teaching our children the symbols of that freedom, the most important symbol being the veteran. When more of our children recognize the American flag and they understand what it stands for, we will have recognized the great service of our veterans